Shanna here. Welcome to my channel all about finding joy while living with autoimmune disease. I am so glad to have you here. So today I'm talking about quick tips for improving digestion. So whether you're on the autoimmune protocol AIP like I am, or you're just trying to eat healthier, or you're just trying to improve digestion with not eating healthy, these tips should help you, and most of them won't cost you a dime, which is always good in my book. First of all, if you're wondering if I suddenly learned how to decorate my house where I'm at, no, I did not. We actually found mold and a flooded room where part of the ceiling had come down a few days ago, and so we are in a rental townhouse for now while that gets fixed, while the plumbing and the mold and all that stuff gets fixed. So hopefully next week we'll be back in our house, but for now, here we are. So quick tips for improving digestion. Let's start with the basics. What is digestion? According to the NTA, the Nutritional Therapy Association, digestion is the chemical and mechanical breakdown of food. The goal of digestion is to reduce the food into molecules so small that the nutrients can be absorbed by the body and used by the cells. So we often hear you are what you eat. The more appropriate phrase might be you are what you absorb, right? It's great that we're eating all of these like if you're on AIP like me, that you're eating all these like organic, locally sourced, seasonal, grass-fed, pastured, all these great foods, but it's so important that our bodies are able to absorb them. And so today I'm going to share with you some tips that should help your body to better absorb the nutrients in the food that you eat so that you can feel even better than you do today. So tip number one for improving digestion, eat in a parasympathetic state. In other words, eat in a relaxed state. So digestion is a north to south process that actually starts in the brain. And as we eat in a parasympathetic state, in a relaxed state, our digestive organs are better able to function. They're better able to absorb the nutrients in our food. They're better able to break down our food. I know, easier said than done. We live in such a fast-paced world. We are bombarded with information, with endless to-do lists, with things that we need to take care of. It's so tempting to eat while we're driving, or eat while we're working, or eat while we're standing up, or eat while we're walking, or eat on the go, or eat while we're checking social media, or when we're checking emails, or endless things, right? But it's so important that we take a moment and that we relax so that our digestive organs can function optimally. So that's good and all, but you may be thinking, all right, Shanna, I know I need to eat in a parasympathetic state now so that my digestive organs can function properly, but how do I do that? I'm busy, how do I even do that? All right, so here's a few quick tips. Number one, sit down when you eat, focus only on eating, and take a few deep breaths prior to eating. Another tip is to find gratitude in the moments prior to eating. So whether that's in a prayer of thanksgiving and offering a blessing on the food, whether that's just a moment to feel gratitude that you have food to eat, whatever that looks like for you, but taking a moment and to feel that gratitude and just taking a few breaths prior to eating can trigger that parasympathetic state. Another idea is to look out the window at nature prior to eating and just take a moment to look out and enjoy nature. Now that we're hopefully in a parasympathetic state, tip number two for improving digestion is to chew your food slowly and completely. So following the digestive process south, we come to our mouth, and it's really important to chew our food slowly and completely so our brain gets the signal that, hey, memo, it's time to start the digestive processes. It's time to trigger the production of saliva and get the cue that digestion needs to start taking place. The food is coming, and it's really important that we chew that food slowly and completely. So why is saliva even important? Why is it important that we trigger the production of saliva? Okay, awesome question. So saliva is a complex mixture of electrolytes, hormones, and enzymes. And those electrolytes, hormones, and enzymes have such a vital role in digestion. So a good rule of thumb is to chew your food until it's like a liquid mixture. Sorry if you just got a gross picture in your mind, but it is what it is. Another rule of thumb is to chew your food for around 30 seconds each bite. Or you can think if you want to count, you can count 20 chews. However, whatever works for you, just chew your food until it's completely in a liquid state, and that's going to really help your digestion. Also, be sure to put down your fork in between bites. I know that the way I used to eat, it was shovel it in, yeah, I probably shouldn't admit that, but so anyway, food, fork down in between bites, chew food completely, and that's going to help digestion. So tip number 3 for improving digestion, consider your stomach acid levels. So stomach acid kind of gets a bad rap sometimes, but really sufficient stomach acid levels are so vital for proper digestion. There's a book I highly recommend reading. It's called Is Stomach Acid Good for You? It is at my home. I don't have it here, so I can't show it to you, but I will link it below. So what are the roles of stomach acid? Why is it so important? Why is it so vital to digestion? All right, so I'm going to read to you the roles of stomach acid. This is again according to the NTA, Nutritional Therapy Association. The roles of stomach acid are: it bathes the stomach, it disinfects the stomach, it kills bacteria and parasites. I don't know about you, but I want to make sure all the bacteria and parasites that need to be killed are killed. So it kills bacteria and parasites, it activates pepsin so that we can digest proteins properly, it stimulates gastrin, and it breaks down proteins. So those are just some of the roles of stomach acid, so huge role. Okay, so further, when we experience insufficient stomach acid levels, we can experience GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. And GERD is the result of undigested, maldigested food causing a backwards flow, a reflux into the esophagus. And what happens is the esophagus burns because it's not designed for those acidic foods from the stomach. The good news is if you think you have insufficient stomach acid levels, like many of us do, you can take supplements to help support your digestion. It's something that I do, I've done since I was at my rock bottom, and it's really helped me. So I encourage you to work with your NTP, a nutritional therapy practitioner, or if you have a naturopath, work with them and they can help you find some support for your digestion. Number 4, for improving digestion, avoid low-fat diets. Yes, you heard me right. You need to eat fats. Fats are so important for a number of reasons that I don't have time to go into, but fats are so important. But we are going to talk about how fats are important for digestion and why. If you have any questions about fats, if you want more information, if you want like studies and research and bring me all of that, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to read The Big Fat Surprise. It is a great book about the importance of fats and kind of like where this whole like low fat diet theory came from and the history of it, and it's just a deep dive into like where that came from and what came out of it and the importance of fats in diets. And it includes tons of research and tons of studies. I will link it below if you're interested. And I am not saying go out and get some deep fried fat food. No, I'm not. Those, as I mentioned, those bad fats are not good for your body. So you really want to include better sources of fat like avocado and extra virgin olive oil and avocado oil and coconut oil. If you're not AIP, you can do grass-fed ghee and grass-fed butter, and there's some, tallow. There's some great options. So the source matters, so be mindful of that too. Why are fats important for proper digestion? So diets low in fat do not trigger the release of bile in the gallbladder. Without the fats to stimulate the release of the bile, that bile gets old and viscous. And likewise, when you have diets high in bad fats, in the wrong kinds of fats, that bile gets viscous as well. Why is viscous bile bad? Because the gallbladder is trying to contract to release the bile to help with the absorption of fats, but if that bile is viscous, it can't be released by the gallbladder. So then you have no bile, no absorption of fats, no absorption of all of the good benefits of fats. Can't help myself, so I've got to tell you why it's so important that our bodies absorb fats, why it's so important. Not only that fat is important for our digestion, but what else fats are important. I can't help myself. So this is from the NTA, Nutritional Therapy Association. Fats provide a stable, dense source of energy. They are required to make healthy cell membranes. They are essential for proper liver function, including the creation of cholesterol and bile. Bile is essential for the digestion of fats and elimination of toxins. Fats must be present in food for us to absorb the fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. Fats form a protective lining around bodily organs. They slow the absorption of food, helping to regulate appetite and energy needs. They are required for the body to inflame and anti-flame. The body needs both to heal. And fats make food taste better. We all know that. Providing better physiological and psychological satiation. So real fast, fats are super important on a number of levels. So one last tip for you guys for improving digestion, tip number 5 is to drink some bone broth. So bone broth is incredibly soothing for the digestive system. It is so supportive of the gut lining. So if you have something like leaky gut, it's going to be really beneficial for you. It's been really beneficial for me. And we're going into winter time, and so there's many other benefits of drinking bone broth too, which I won't jump into, but there is a lot of digestive benefits. So you can make it yourself homemade. There's tons of recipes online. I don't have a recipe online that I use, but if you Google like AIP bone broth recipes, if you're on the AIP, or just healing bone broth recipes, it's really easy to make. If you make it in your Instant Pot, it cuts the time significantly down. So I used to make it in my slow cooker overnight, and I didn't like it because I didn't like the smell of it when I woke up in the morning. Like, I don't know, my family didn't care. For some reason I didn't like the smell. But I make it in my Instant Pot, and it cooks way faster in just a couple hours, and the smell doesn't bother me, and it's so delicious. So homemade is my preference. But if you want to buy some just to try it, I really love Bonafide Provisions. It's frozen, and it comes in, I was going to say it comes in the freezer section. I just said it's frozen. You can find it in the freezer section. Our local Walmart has it, so check your local Walmart. If not, my Whole Foods just started carrying it. There's some like health food stores. You can go on their website, probably. I'll link it, and find like a store locator. That's my favorite. If you're AIP and looking for an already prepped bone broth, just be super careful of the ingredients because many of them are not AIP compliant. So those are my quick tips for improving digestion. I encourage you to pick at least one and just start working on improving your digestion. I feel like it's one of those things where we can always be making strides to improve our digestion. Even as far as I've come, I'm working on improving mine even further. So I'm cheering you on. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them. I will put my references below. Most of this information I learned as an NTP student. I am graduating in just in about a month from the NTP program through the NTA. It's been a wonderful program. If you like to geek out over, all things health and wellness and nutrition, I encourage you to check out the NTP program, Nutritional Therapy Practitioner program through the NTA. It's been a wonderful experience, and I really can't say enough good things about it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them. I come out with new videos every week, so please subscribe if you don't want to miss any, and I hope you guys have a great week.